Interesting lessons learned. We tend to restrict ourselves with what we see as possibility. Our brains, we have an incredible thing in our brain called our reticular activating system. It's a neural net of nerves. It's just at the base of our spine. Our bodies are bombarded with 400 billion bits of information per second, and our reticular activating system, our Google search engine, pulls 2,000 of those out, gives them to our conscious brain. Because if we had to be bombarded with 400 billion bits of information a second, we'd go insane. When you started this exercise, you had straws, you had marshmallows, and you had a mission, you had a vision, and you were going to build the tallest tower possible using those limited resources. We programmed our reticular activating system to say all we can do is use marshmallows and straws. We were standing behind that line and we were trying to throw the ball into the cup. And all we had to do was walk across and put it in here. We had all sorts of unlimited resources. I said, here is a packet of marshmallows. Here is 25 straws. Build the tallest tower possible. I never said, you can't use any other resources in your business. When you're doing business, do you limit yourself? Do you look at what I've got? This is the resources I have available to me. Or do you open your mind and you start exploring and looking and finding other resources, other ways of doing things, better ways of doing things, that you can unlock possibility, unlock potential, unlock better ways of doing things. Like I said, when you go to work on Monday morning, are you going to look at your environment? Are you going to see better ways of doing things? Are you going to find resources that are sitting in front of you that you're not using?
You can't all build towers.
Please, whatever you do, don't call your boss into the office and say, check my chair and my cupboard on top of my desk. Hey, what do you think? Do you think you can go higher than that? In fact, standing on one hand, doing like a one-handed handstand. Look at me! Okay. But look around your environment. I know there's better ways of doing things. I know there's better ways of unlocking things. There's a little, and I wish I'd have brought it with me. It's a video of some basketball kids. There's 8 kids in black uniforms and 8 kids in white uniforms. And these kids stand and they juggle around each other like this and they bounce the ball to each other. And the instruction is, count how many times the white team touches the ball. And you are programmed now, and you look at the white team and you count and you count. And the exercise finishes and you say, right, who saw 16? Who saw 18? Some people see like 35, but that's not the point of the exercise. In the middle of that video, a black gorilla walks out, stands in the middle of the kids bouncing the balls and goes, does a forward roll and disappears. And you ask the audience and you say, who saw the black gorilla? In a group of 30 people, 3 people saw the black gorilla. Because they're focusing on the white basketball team and they're so desperately counting the number of times they don't see a black gorilla that walks into the middle of the group. It's your reticular activating system. You've programmed your Google search engine to look for the white kids bouncing the ball. The black team is irrelevant. The black gorilla is irrelevant. How many black gorillas are in your workplace right now? Better ways of doing things. More efficient, effective ways of doing the same thing. Black gorillas that you're not seeing. How many better ways are there to build towers? How many better ways are there for you to do what you do every day? You need to look. You need to have a vision. You need to communicate that vision to the people around you. You need to make sure that you understand your individual role in delivering on that vision. If you do, and you do what you need to do every single day of your life, you deliver on that vision, you do your bit. Do you think it's possible for the business to go where it needs to go? Do you think if you do what you need to do every single day, your little bit, your department can achieve the outcomes that it wants to achieve? Do you think if you strive to do as much and more than you can every single day, you change your philosophy, you come in early, you stay late, you make yourself better, you over-deliver and under-promise, do you think your department, your business, Tigo, will get better, will be able to achieve its vision? If you can do that and everybody commits to do that, how can you fail? How can you not achieve what you need to achieve? The leadership. Are you the example that you need to be? In fact, every single person in the organization, are you the example? Would you be proud to work for you? Would you be proud to stand and be you with whatever you do? Are you doing the best you can possibly do every minute of the day? Or are you just coasting? You can only coast in one direction. So if you're coasting, where are you going? If you're wanting to, you've got to get on the pedals and you've got to start pedaling. You've got to start delivering. You've got to start trying harder. Stop coasting, because that's what happens. That's all you can achieve if you carry on coasting. That's what you can achieve if you commit to do it differently from today. If you have a new attitude, if you shift the way you look at things, if you start to see everything as being on your way, because it can be on your way because you now have a vision. You now have a common vision that you're aiming for. Can you believe what you achieved here? This is the best I was seeing, because we limited ourselves. That's what we could achieve. That's what we had. That tower goes right up to the roof, and if they could have reached higher, they would have taken that tower higher. How high can you reach? How far does your reach reach? What are you capable of achieving as an individual, as a department, as an organization? What are you capable of achieving? Is it limited? Or is it unlimited? How far can that tower stretch? How far can your reach stretch? How much can you become? Look around you and see what can be achieved if what can be achieved if you don't have unrealistic rules, unrealistic things in your way. That you open up and you say, how can I do it better? How can I do it differently? What can I do to make this better? And if you're constantly looking for ways to make it better, what are you capable of? What is your department capable of? What is your business capable of? I see an amazing group of incredible people here. Imagine, get this picture. Do you know when Olympic athletes, they stuck these little electrodes on their legs, got them to run a 100-meter sprint, and they had a look on when the muscle fired, when it did what it did. And then they got the athletes and they laid them down on a bed, and they said, in your mind, imagine you're running the race. Every single electrode fired at exactly the same time, to exactly the same intensity as if they were running the race. So if you visualize something in your mind and you see yourself doing it perfectly, every muscle, every neuron will fire at the same time. So get that picture in your head right now of where you want yourself, your department, your business to go. Get that picture in your mind every single morning. See that picture, stay focused on that picture. That picture will be delivered to you. You can have, do, and be anything if you get the picture in your mind. They did an exercise where they took 3 different groups of university students. One group, they measured how many times they could throw baskets on the basketball court. Well, all 3 groups they measured, and they said to the one group, right, you go away, you practice for an hour every single day. 30 days later, we'll test how you improve. The other group, they said to them, we want you to sit every day, not touch a basketball. We want you to visualize throwing those balls. You're not touching. The third group, they said, we want you to sit for half an hour visualizing it and half an hour doing it. And after 30 days, they went and measured the performance. The group that practiced had a 15% improvement. The group that had visualized, it had a 37% improvement. The group that had visualized and practiced had a 65% improvement. What are you visualizing in your mind every day? What picture are you waking up with in your mind every day? Are you waking up or going to work, and the first thing you do is you handle your emails? What does that do? It's like waking up in the morning with a spoon in your hand and a blindfold on, and walking down the passage, and everybody throws whatever they want into that spoon, and you just stick it in your mouth. Because that's what your emails are doing. You're not setting up your day. You're not visualizing the perfect day. You're not visualizing what you want to happen in your day. You're just allowing people to throw anything into your day. So you're not creating the best foundation for your day. So what you need to do is you need to get a picture, a visualized, clear picture of how I want my day to go. Keep that picture in your mind, and then you decide how your day is going to go. But keep focused on what you want to transpire. Because when you have that picture, amazingly, more often than not, exactly that will happen. But if it doesn't, what do? You get to the end of the day, you have a look back over the day, and you have a look at what worked, what didn't work. Well, what does what didn't work do for you? It's lessons. It's your tutor. It teaches you that didn't work. Next time I do it differently. And you gather all of that experience and you build up all of that experience. Do you know, entrepreneurs under the age of 40, 5% of businesses survive the first year. And of those businesses that survive the first year, 5% survive to 5 years. If the entrepreneur is 55 years of age, 63% of businesses survive the first year, and almost all of those businesses are still there 5 years later. What is the difference between the entrepreneur that is 40 years old and the entrepreneur that's 55 years old? Experience. Learn from your mistakes. Learn, grow, become more, and you can have more. I think it's time for lunch. Well done, everybody.